I'll read out a quote from Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. He says, "There is nothing to practice. To know yourself, be yourself. To be yourself, stop imagining yourself to be this or that. Just be. Let your true nature emerge. Don't disturb your mind with seeking." Seeking happens when we feel that whatever we are right now in this given moment, the way we imagine ourselves, is not enough. That somehow I have not attained spiritual enlightenment, material wellness, perfection in work and relationships, and therefore I must work, I must seek to make myself better. This whole idea of making oneself better by becoming or unbecoming brings more and more pain and suffering. So Maharaj says, don't imagine yourself to be this or that. Self-limiting beliefs like I am unworthy, I'm not enough, I'm unloved. All these things are identifications with the separate self. The root of all these thoughts is the separate self, which says that I am not enough. It is by nature that. So when we identify with these thoughts that I am not enough, that I am this, I am that, then we miss out on our true nature, which is peace and calmness. So whatever we are trying to seek in the name of peace or bliss, we already are that. But seeking perpetuates suffering, because seeking constantly maintains separation between the seeker and what is sought. Nisargadatta Maharaj further says, look at your mind dispassionately. This is enough to calm it. When it is quiet, you can go beyond it. Do not keep it busy all the time. Stop it and just be. If you give it a rest, it will settle down and recover its purity and strength. Constant thinking makes it decay. Now just sit by yourself for a moment and let your mind run. Let it run without creating any obstruction. What we do is we immediately grab our smartphones, start scrolling social media, grab something to eat, or engage in any other activity to distract the mind from the pain which is arising in a given moment. Because the pain, the underlying emotion, is uncomfortable, the mind immediately comes up with a solution. It says, divert the attention. But that does not solve the problem. Yes, temporarily it may give you relief to grab a snack, for example, or watch a movie or scroll social media, because that alters the brain chemistry, but only for a short while. And then again you are back to the dullness, you're back to the feeling of emptiness. So Maharaj says, stop that. Don't keep engaging incessantly in thinking. Observe it. Observe it dispassionately. And this happens when it is understood that I am not my thoughts, but thinking is happening and there is no thinker. The notion of a separate thinker thinking something is suffering. So when thinking happens, let it happen completely. Just be a detached observer. So all that requires is just to be, just silence, just watching whatever arises, and let all kinds of thoughts, emotions arise. Let them arise, let them play, and let them subside. Of course, if something is too uncomfortable and causing you too much discomfort and you need some help, external help, then that's a different issue altogether. But if the intensity or the pain is bearable and you can see that it is just coming up, it is just playing, Let it play, and over time, the association with that thought begins to weaken because the light of awareness shines on this whole thinking process, and the thinking starts getting cut off. The intensity of emotions that are associated with the thinking, they begin getting cut off with awareness. Nothing special needs to be done. No practices are required as such. You can definitely meditate or do kriyas or yoga, and they are all beautiful practices, very beneficial practices. I highly recommend them. But here's the thing, those practices by themselves are not going to stop the thinking mind. The moment you get up and go about your daily living, the same thoughts, the same worries, the same anxieties are going to come back. Till the relationship with the thought and the thinker, till this whole relationship is not understood, till there is a thinker thinking something, there is a separation maintained. Only when the thinker drops away and it is seen that thinking is all there is, that thinking is just a happening, then it doesn't make any difference. Simple observation happens. Witnessing happens. Witnessing is completely detached from whatever is going on. It is the direct observation. But direct observation happens only when the notion that I am so and so is dropped. If we believe ourselves to be this or that, then the witnessing, then the observation will be personal, will be distorted, will be filtered, will be full of prejudices and biases, which will not give any relief. Because the biased, limited mind wants to conform to its own ideas and beliefs and not learn something new. It is not capable of learning anything new. But when the mind is allowed to be quiet, after running through, it is at some point it just becomes quiet, then the clarity comes in. And in that clarity, it is seen that there are no limiting filters anywhere. There is only the direct observation of what is, the facts, the unaltered flow of life. But till the mind is fighting, struggling, creating more thoughts, including the thought to silence itself, calm itself, it is just getting entangled in this whole web of thinking. Mind cannot quiet itself through thinking. Just sit and watch and observe, and all of us, and you will find that at some point it just begins to slow down, and then one feels relief.